Yo, what is up, everybody? Hopefully everything is working. I think we're good. What is up? Welcome back to another Sunday night stream. I appreciate everybody that is tuning in. I see the chat coming through. Today's live stream, before I forget, is brought to you by Ambro Controls, which I'll get into a little bit later because I posted a clip and my last YouTube video. Just caught up to your episode on Uncensored today. Awesome. What is up, everybody? So yeah, I'll talk about Ambro in a bit and kind of the videos that I just posted. I'm a little rusty here, so hold on. Let me go over here. How is everybody doing? What is everybody up to? Let's see. I do want to thank, as always, our channel members. If you want to, don't really push it. It's helpful. I am trying to get to new designs, new stickers. I keep telling myself I'm gonna do a sticker pack at some point. So I'll try and get that all done very soon. And the channel members, the small donations, they help a lot. You know, the channel makes a little bit of money here and there. The sponsors definitely help with, keeping that stuff paid for, the bills paid, all the stuff that I keep buying. And our channel members, Gary Carnell, D. Tolls, Mark Morales, B1062, Darwin Hooks, True Results, HTX, Brian, Chevy Runner 88, Rage Metal Freak, Lost But One, Mark Harris, Quenga, and Jimmy Wang. So appreciate you guys for being channel members. Now I can get that off my screen. Yes, Kitchen Cowboy, make sure you hit the like button. We got a good crowd in here. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Yes, definitely hit that like button before we get into our discussions here. I think I didn't do one last week, right? So I just, every now and then, I can't make Sundays work. And this is really the only day that I can make work for these streams and stuff. So if I don't make it, I usually put an announcement up. Still trying to figure that out. I don't know if people even see those announcements on YouTube anymore. But I'll let you guys know when I do or don't have a live stream going forward. And nights, I think somebody asked, or maybe it was you, Vic. We're taking kind of the holiday weeks off. So we'll be back December 4th next week for HVAC nights. And then we got Christmas break and stuff like that. And, we'll let you guys know. You're not my dad. Who said I was? Let's see. What's up, Mike? Jason, Vic, Brian, HVAC or HVACR Drew. How are we doing, HVACR community? Let me see. Where was I? Kitchen Cowboy, CZ Digger. Just caught up to your episode today. I gotta do more of those. If you're talking about on Gills, I just did another one for somebody else, and then I need to get back to my emails because I've been asked to do these other kinds of shows, and it's like, we run a business down here, but we're not like super big. We just keep it simple, and I tell them, and they still are like, just come on and have a discussion. So I'm like, yeah, Let's do it. It's not going to be super technical or business savvy, but we can talk about how we've been in business for 20 years. It's a great accomplishment, and we're coming up on Thanksgiving this week, right? Like, super thankful, super grateful to be in the trades, and that my dad kind of put this plan out to, start his own business, get his kids in there, where me and my brother get to do this for a living now. And it's not easy, but, we make it work. You got 5 days off starting on Thanksgiving Day. Nice little break. Short week. I work 10, so I get Fridays off anyway. Short week this week. Let's see. Mike, I am off the whole week. I was just informed, because not everything goes through me. A lot of it goes through my dad. Like, I do everything that needs to be done on billing and documents and emails and, all that kind of stuff. And he still handles, a lot of the pay and a lot of the scheduling and stuff like that. I was just informed that our senior tech is taking vacation this week, like you, Mike. And it's probably going to be an interesting week for myself. And then I'm taking off on Friday so I can take our own little mini vacation with the kids. So hopefully they didn't hear me. It's a little surprise. Let's see. You always want the time off just because work is hectic, and you're like, man, if I only had if I had a week off, if I had a few days off, and then you get those days off, and it's like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. It's like that meme or joke, like, I don't know what to do with my hands. And I was so used to having days off when we were like, much smaller, but we've been staying busy. But every now and then I get a day off, and it's like, what do I do now? Picked up a Yellow Jacket UV sniffer, pretty much brand new. I don't think I've looked at the Yellow Jacket stuff too much. Like, they were the go-to for like manifolds and hoses. And I had the recovery machine, and then like all these other brands came out, and I just haven't gone back to look at what they offer in the space, right? I know they have wireless probes or whatever, the clamps, all that kind of stuff, and the new manifold looks nice, the one that Gil always talks about. Their pumps look pretty. They're kind of massive, but they look tough and stuff. So I've never gotten back into their stuff. I didn't even know they had a sniffer. Yellow Jacket UV sniffer. Well, the cat's out of the bag there. Yes, make sure you stay tuned for our 100th episode. We probably mentioned it. I don't remember. Part timer. Yeah, we were just at Home Depot because we have new guys, and we had, I don't know who I had this discussion with. Oh, it was the podcast that I just recorded, and the kid was like, "Are you hiring?" But it's because we hired 3 new people, right? And we've given them some tools. Now these are kids, but like usually when we get a tech, they bring their hand tools and a tool bag, and then like obviously we have to outfit them with vacuum pumps. They can use one of our recovery machines because those we don't buy, like everybody want their own. Um, and then, like a leak detector, stuff like that is on us, right? And we also, they need drills, they need like other things to do their day to day. So we just went to Home Depot, and of course they have those sales going on right now. So we just picked up some drills and took advantage of all the combos and stuff that they have going on right now. The batteries are on sale right now too. So it's a good time to go buy some Milwaukee or really any power tool right now. Oh man, I didn't get to go on Friday. Trying to find supply houses that are having free food. When are we having? We have something going on. I think it's in December though. They do those customer appreciation days and stuff, and they cater, and you can go there, and they have some manufacturers and supply or manufacturers and different brands that go and set up, right. They have their booth, and you can talk to them, whatever. So they have that going on. They had some, and I went to the second location here, and they had some bomb ass barbecue. I need to ask them where they got the meat from, but they had some really good barbecue, and I was like, man, this is like old times because they used to do that kind of stuff more often. And then I went to, because that's the further location. I went to the one that I always go to, and the guy's like, hey, just letting you know about that customer appreciation day. Make sure you come by, eat some good food. Oh, and we're gonna start barbecuing every Friday, or we're trying to. We're gonna bring it back and this and that. I'm like, dude, awesome. Um, some of my guys in the past would try to work their way over there, even if they weren't in the area, just to get food. But it's cool when they do stuff like that. And it's like, you're there to get parts. You're there pretty often, and you can just go get a barbecue plate on a Friday. Doing good. That's awesome. Good to hear. Yeah, that's the deal that we had seen. One battery and a charger is, you can get any of the drills and a battery and charger. It's 99, or you can get the two drill combo and it's like 199, I think. And some of their tools, because we also use like their cutoff tools pretty often, and stuff like that. Like a lot of M12 tools, and if they're like anywhere in that 150 to whatever range, they're knocked down to like 120, 100. So a lot of good deals. I started HVAC in '88. Great career, still having a great time. Started in commercial. Residential is okay, just small. Oh, and a pain to get to. You you started almost the time that I was born. Oh, they run 650 retail for that yellow jacket. Let me see. Use it or lose it. What's up, Zay? I buy my own tools. Recovery and vacuum pumps are company bought. So we are we try to help our guys a lot, and obviously doing like the social media stuff, I get a few extra things here and there. I don't abuse it, right? If I work with Milwaukee, I'm not going to ask him for like 5 drills or anything like that, right? So I don't abuse it. I don't ask for like cheap stuff because I don't want them to think like, oh, he's asking us for, something that he could go buy himself. So, I have the social media stuff ends up piling up here. Some of it I want to give away at some point, but if the guys need it, they might have, some stuff like veto bags, right? I might give them. I gave the guys recently that infrared that I reviewed. I gave it to our longest tenured apprentice, our senior tech. I just got him a wheeler bag because he had needed something that he could carry around easier. My dad wants one too, so I gave him a different wheeler one that I had. So, there's little benefits there of doing social media, but we we buy them as much as we can, as long as they're like really good workers and they take care of their stuff. And it's like some of it's because it's family and we help them out. Because my dad would buy tools for his brother that worked with us up until he started losing the same damn. They were Knipex, right? The Cobras and those pliers and stuff. And my dad likes those a lot, right? So he bought them, and he bought them for the guys he was working with. And yeah, after he lost it like the second time, he's like, "You're gonna buy your own your own replacement. I already bought you a couple. I'm not buying anymore." So we try to give them some better tools when we can. But yeah, like I'm getting them the vacuum pumps. I'm getting them the recovery. Um, they usually come with their own gauges and stuff, but I just gave our senior tech like the field piece probes. Went ahead and got him a pair and stuff like that. I need to keep track of it just in case, because every now and then you have some discussions. Maybe they want to raise. We have to talk about it. Maybe they want to go somewhere. They're thinking about it. I just have to keep track of all the stuff that we do buy them so that we can have them turn it in. Haven't been as good as I was in the past. It's just a lot to keep track of. But I do want to help out like some of the newer guys, because we have a kid that is just a helper. But if I can give him like a small veto bag and like a starter set of tools, maybe that'll make him want to do a little bit more because he has his own tools. I don't know. Donut. They used to do that too. I don't think they do that anymore. The donuts. And those things would be gone within the first like 30 minutes. Let me see. I will say I have a new respect for JB. So the probes have been fantastic. I like them. I work on a lot of different equipment. It fits for the most part. I think the only one that I had to use the 90 fitting that I have was on a Allied commercial, because those compressor compartments are in the corner and there's pipes everywhere, and they always put the service ports that are like right up against the door or like right in that area. I think it's all the Allied commercials and like maybe Lennox. I think Lennox is another one that has that same exact layout. Well, they're both the same. They're both Lennox, right? So Allied commercial or like Lennox branded, they have that corner compressor compartment, and usually you can't close the door. I don't think you need to on those because it's a separate compartment, but I don't like the doors flapping around. So I like to put all my probes in and close it and then check the system. So on those, Um, Especially because it's like super windy a lot here. So I don't want them breaking off. On those, I had gotten some 90-degree fittings and they work fine. Other than that, they fit everywhere else. I normally do have a core depressor, the little screw type on my high side just to help me because I don't want to burn my hand. I know it's not, you won't burn them if you do it correctly, but every now and then, like the other day, I was laying in a kitchen hooking up to a cooler and I'm like trying to put these things on and off and I'm burning my hand up against like a discharge line. Try not to hit my hand on the fan. Like there's different scenarios where I can't get that thing cleanly on and off. So I like having those. They're by Appion. They're the little thumb screw depressors. You put everything on without depressing it, and then you just screw it in. It pushes down the pin, and then you get a reading. And then when you take it off, you undo it, and you can. What I have to do, because sometimes it builds up a lot of pressure where it makes it hard to take off, is I have to take off the probe and kind of bleed out the whatever's in there and then take it off. So that's what I use for my high side. My low side, I never have an issue, but if I can put it on straight, I will, or I'll use the 45 that it comes with. So other than that, they have not broken. They have not cracked. So whatever they did, they said it was a bad batch that I got, and they sent everybody that said that they broke, got them at the same time. So it was supposedly a bad batch, and the new ones, haven't cracked, haven't broken, and I've been using them for weeks now. When the batch that I showed, and of course I needed them to explain because I was like, I don't know what's going on. Those broke within like a day. So it did make a difference, whatever they did. And it's just something about having, because I come from analogs, and a lot of guys start with analogs, right? So a lot of you guys, whether you just get in, in the past few years, you get in like me 20 years ago or even further back, a lot of us are used to analogs, right? You hook up, you get an instant reading. I don't know if it's me just getting older. I really don't like using my phone as much as I used to. I used to be that guy when the first iPhones came out, and the ones after that could do more, right? Like, again, I feel weird because I feel like I show my age a lot, and guys don't know what I'm talking about. Like the iPhone, like the 3G, the 3GS, the iPhone 4. Those are really cool because you could do so much more than the original iPhone, right? On the original iPhone, you couldn't even send pictures. You could web browse, but it wasn't much. And I don't even think there was any apps on that first one. So it came a long way, and I was really into that stuff, like technology. And I even used to, what would you call it? I used to jailbreak my iPhones. I even got that first, I think it was the first iPhone to do picture messaging, and it was like a hack that you had to do. And I knew how to do it, and I got it working, and nobody believed that it worked and this and that. Like, I was really into that stuff, and I wanted my phone to do everything. I had an app for everything. Now, I don't know. I complain because I'm like, man, my phone overheats. I got to answer the calls. I got to answer messages. Like, I don't want to be monitoring every little thing on my phone. So I would hope, because we have JB doing it, we have Hvac now doing it, to putting, these screens on these probes. And that's honestly one of my favorite things about the JB probes is the screen, because I can, I'm rolling around on the ground and I, hook them up. I see an instant reading because I have a unit like the other day that was short cycling. And I was like, is it really going that low? Is it really going into a vacuum? And I turned it on. I could see it instantly. It was going like to 60 and then like to 0 or to 5. And then 60 and 5. And it kept going on and off. I was like, okay, we actually do have an issue. It's not like a faulty pressure switch, right? That pressure switch is doing what it's supposed to do. So, that screen is very helpful. Also, like if you get there and that thing, like I said, short cycling or just doing something weird, it's happened to me before where I hook up the field piece probes, I turn them on, I'm like fumbling to get my phone out, I'm trying to get the app open, I'm trying to make sure they connect, and then I miss whatever, like it tripped and I missed a few minutes of me trying to do all that to get the reading, where I could just turn, like, put them on for like the JBs or the Navax, and if it trips, I can actually just, as I'm looking at it, see that it tripped at a certain like pressure. So the screens is a big thing for me. And they've been good. They're bigger than the field piece. Nothing beats the field piece for size and being able to put it in your tool bag, all that kind of stuff. Like nothing beats that on the field piece. But they do fit in my tool bag. I do have the probes and the clamps, the JB ones. And I have the fittings on there. I have the psychrometers in my bag too. And I just like seeing the screen. Oh, you guys are looking for some new probes. Get the combo and return that free tool. Man, yeah, I kind of wish I had that new field piece one, but I already gave up personally on manifolds. So on my truck right now, I already gave because my brother had an older set of S-Mans. And I was like, you still use manifolds, right? And he's like, yeah, because I was trying to see if he wanted any specific like probes or whatever, because he still uses a manifold. And I was like, do you want these S-Mans? Because I literally do not use them. I really liked using them for startups, and the fact that they could connect to everything, right? Your clamps, your scale, all that stuff. And that's what I just enjoyed using them. And I was like, you know what? It doesn't make any sense for me. I have 2 sets of probes on my van. I should just use the probes for everything and just get the right hoses. So I have 2 Appion, two 3/8 hoses for recovery, and then I have a Hillmore 3/8 and a Yellow Jacket 3/8 that has a 1/4 inch on one side, so I can do my vacuums. And other than that, I do everything with those. With that setup, everything's in my hose hauler. I've been trying to stick to that. And I will say, I think people have asked me, I do like the Yellow Jacket hoses, I think the most. The Hillmore ones are really cool. But, and the Appion ones, they're great. They're known for, having the best vacuum rated everything, but the Yellow Jackets have angled fittings on them, so that's what I like a lot, because a lot of the spaces that I get into, that port is right up against like a panel or another line set or something, and I need it to have an angled fitting on it so that it works in more spaces. So that's what I like. And I got rid of the S-Man, and I think I have an analog in there somewhere. I just don't know what brand it is. I was waiting for the damn field piece ones because I just like the way they look. They're different. They have the yellow very minor like yellow accent color, but they're like black. They looked rugged, like heavy duty and all that. They never came out. I don't know what happened. And I might have to ask Tony like directly, because I did ask him. He said soon because they were making changes, but that was before summer. And then I asked Field Piece directly, but I don't know what's going on there. They're not answering my messages or emails anymore, so we'll see what happens there. But that was gonna be. I still want a backup analog, and I wanted the Field Piece set. They just never came out. Oh, those are the ones I need. I'm gonna, now that we have like these new guys, I might, we whatever I don't use, I do offer it to them, especially like lightly used tools. So at some point, I might just, for the heck of it, try to get rid of some of the stuff that I have, and I want to try to build up a little bit of the Knipex, certain pliers, right? And those twin grips I've been wanting to try, specifically like for my dad, because I think he would need them, or I've seen him on jobs where he could benefit. You know what? Christmas gift, right? There we go. So I'm gonna get my dad a little tool set up, and I buy him tools every now and then, just throughout the year. I actually just bought him because they were working on a dishwasher, and he needed something. They were replacing the rollers and the curtains and something with the sprayer. And him and one of the new guys was like working on it. They had a drill. Something wouldn't come out. And they were asking me for Allen keys. I was like, yeah, I do have some, but I can give you the Mowark, which are those Allen key impact bits. I was like, you can try those, and you can either use a ratchet or you can try the drill if it's not going to mess it up. And he's like, both of them were like, wow, right? And my dad knows I have these tools, but he forgets. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get you all a set, because you guys could benefit. They struggled a lot with that dishwasher until I gave them that tool, and I love those Allen key impact bits. They are fantastic, and if you pair it with the Klein electrician's ratchet or the Milwaukee one, you can get into a lot of tight spots. And that's how I take off fan blades. That's how I take off like pulleys, like anything with a set screw. That's what I'm using. You can also use it for like service valves on the condensers of a split system. I just don't see a point because the ratchet is super small, and sometimes you need a lot of leverage. So I still carry my refrigeration ratchet with the key on it. I still think that's the best for any of those. And you still need that ratchet for king valves and all these other kinds of service valves that we run into on the refrigeration side. But yeah, you brought that up. I'm gonna get him. There's a few things I want to get, so I'm gonna get him a little handful of some Knipex tools. I have to get my tool account down before I can get a new wheeler. Help me too. That's what I was saying earlier. Is I was interviewing a kid for the podcast, and I don't know why we were talking about tools, and I brought up kind of that conversation that I had here. And he's like, whoa, whoa, are you hiring? I was like, dude, well, we're talking about work environment. I was like, you gotta, treat your guys good, make them want to be there, help them out as much as you can, because if they're good technicians, you don't want them to leave. And a good work environment can mean a lot to these guys, especially new guys, right? Young kids, because a lot of the ones that do leave, right? They're like, I don't like the trade, this and that. It's because they were pushed out, they were bullied, They were given a hard time at work, and I get it. You need a tough skin to be here regardless, but shouldn't be that much more difficult by your boss or by your coworkers when you got a customer breathing down your neck, or you got a job that is just really difficult to do. I still get those jobs, right? We still have difficult brazes or diagnoses, all these kinds of calls that come through. That puts a lot of stress on you. And then your customer or your boss is giving you a hard time. Like, you gotta balance it out. I try to only get after them if they do something that I've told them not to do. Anything else, simple mistake, I tell them, if you make a mistake, it's fine. It's a learning experience. I will correct it. I will go fix if you mess up something on a unit, I will go fix it, or I'll tell you how to fix it. Like, you can make mistakes, just don't make them over and over. Yeah, that hose hauler, that bag is really awesome. I got a second one, so I'm gonna give the other one to. I don't think my brother needs it. So we've tried to be realistic as to who needs what. So my brother is usually with me when he does or I do an install, and some of our other guys are usually with the senior tech, and they might do an install, right? So it's always like two groups that do them, and that's how we run. If we can, we'll have a majority of the guys there where I'm with the senior tech as well. My brother's there. So sometimes we will all run together, and then, the apprentices or the new guys, I don't know if I want to call them apprentices, they're running their own calls. But the new guys will do like service calls while we do that. And so we really only have two different install teams that can really do, like, it's going to be like me and my team, and then the senior tech and his team if we need to. But if I can go help them out, I'll go help them out. So yeah, like, I got a new hose hauler, and I want to get a new setup for the other team, right? I need to get them better equipment, because they senior tech is a little harder to convince, but he's very on board with what's a better way to do this. What's this? I saw this on YouTube. I saw this here. Like, and he'll ask me, right? I'm like, yeah, let me know what you need, and I'll get it for you. But he still pulls a vacuum a lot of the times through a manifold, right? Like, some habits are hard to break. So I'm trying to set them up to make sure that they always have it, and I'm gonna get on them to use it. So that hose hauler is a game changer, because I can just pack it out with everything they need and just give it to them, and that's gonna be for like that install team. And then I got my own on my van, and yeah, I got the hoses, any fittings that I would need go in there, a small extension cord when we run the recovery machine. Some adapters and depressors dedicated for that bag. And I'm still going to keep the extension cord in there, but I'm hoping that Milwaukee recovery machine comes out very soon, and we get to try that and never have to use an extension cord again. What is up, man? What or how is the Navac set? I'll let you know when they send it out, if they do. Um, so the probes, if you're talking about the probe set, what I think they released them too soon. They should have been released either now, the last quarter of this year, or the first quarter of next year, because they released them, I think, right after AHR, right? So they released them in spring. The app didn't work. You could only connect to one probe at a time, so you can check your low pressure or your high pressure, not both. There was no superheater or subcooling right. The app wasn't working at all. And then Measure Quick wouldn't recognize it properly. Like they had to patch something. The magnets were weak on the psychrometers. The clamps, somebody just commented on the video. I have videos on them if you haven't seen them, but like I'm just kind of going over what I remember that I didn't like. The clamps. So somebody left me a comment, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, that they hate the clamps because they seem like an afterthought. And in my video, I mentioned, I think these are just from their digital manifold. I don't think they made any clamps for this set, and they look very different and they work very different. Those ran off of batteries, I believe. Everything else was rechargeable. So then that also gets confusing because, you know, which ones need batteries, which ones need to be recharged. The pressure probes and the psychrometers were USB-C rechargeable. It didn't make sense to me to make them rechargeable because what if they, like two of them die on you and you only have one USB cord? Like you're going to charge one at a time. You're going to wait for it to charge. I don't know if I couldn't find anything that said that it had like a quick charge function, right? If you're going to do that, make sure that they can charge maybe like 50% in like 5 to 10 minutes or something. I'm not sure. So I didn't like that they were rechargeable. I didn't like the clamps that were just thrown in there. The magnets on the psychrometer sucked. The app didn't work. Measure Quick didn't work for a long time and they finally patched it. And they said they're working on their app. I'm not sure if they finished it or not. But other than that, they were cool. They have the screen on them. Theirs is different because they have the screen that has the reading, so PSI or whatever you set it to, and it also gives you the saturation temperature on the screen. I don't know if it keeps any memory or if it always goes back to like a default, like whatever it ships with, R12, R22, or 410. I don't know what it comes like default. Or maybe it doesn't show anything as a default and you have to go in the app and pick it. I'm not sure how that works because it would be cool if you could set it to like 410 or 404 and every time you turn them on, it's set to that. Like if you're running a bunch of calls on the same equipment, right? And you never need your phone, that would be cool. But if you got to set it every time, then it kind of takes away that, oh, we have all that information on the screen, but you still need to use the phone to set it up and then you can see it. So again, I try not to bash on these companies because I do get like some crazy messages sometimes and people hold grudges on some of the stuff that I say. I am just trying to let them know what I think and what they could do to make them better. And Hvac and JB, I will say both reached out to me and said they were improving these things. So Hvac did go and fix everything. I got an email with the list of things that they were going to fix, and they were all things from my video. So I was like, I'm not doing this just for clicks or just to be an ass. Like I have a platform. It's not the biggest, right? I'm not the biggest YouTuber or anything like that, but I have a platform that people will come across and they'll see it. And if they don't see it, I'll tag them in it. Like I do that all the time. And I want them to see it. So I have a platform that they can listen to and they can see. And if I say something, maybe it gets through to them. And on those occasions, it did. There's some other companies that have, I don't want to say blacklisted me, but like they made it known that they didn't like what I said. So every company is different. I do appreciate Hvac. They were supposed to send out a set for me to review once they fixed everything. I just don't know if that's going to happen right now because I think they barely sent them out to their ambassadors. I'm not an ambassador. I don't work with them at all. Those guys barely got theirs. So that's what I'm saying. I think they should have released them at this time when even their own people were barely getting them, right? So I think they just released them too soon. I've heard good things about the Appion probes. People are always going to complain about the size. I think Fieldpiece set the standard as to what people want the size to be, like narrow, like a screwdriver, right? It's like another screwdriver in your tool pouch. Because I don't like to use the cases that they come with. And Navac, I told them that too. I was like, you guys have a stupid case. Like, who wants a briefcase on a job site? So you should have done the vertical case like everybody else. But, you know, or even the UEI ones that I showed. And I think that video is coming. I have a video for UEI coming out this week, trying out the probes. That set, and it came with a micron gauge. And what else did it come with? Outdoor air sensor or probe. It came with extra things, and that case was super small compared to the Navac one that came with less things. Like, it was just stupid. So, yeah, they addressed a lot of it. They said they were going to work on a case as well. So I don't know when that's coming out. The guys that have them, I did reach out to them to ask them what they thought. So they said they're going to get to it. They're going to try them out, review them. So maybe we'll see some Navac reviews soon. Appion, I guess, again, I've heard good things. It's just the size of them, right? They're a lot bigger. It's cool that they can be flexible on the gooseneck that it comes with, but they're a lot bigger, but you get a lot more information on them. That hose hauler is a what do you call it? A popular choice. What kind of batteries do they come with? So the Sporlan Smart Service Tool, is that the kit? Okay. See, when I said that some companies don't want to talk to me, that was one of them. Let's see. I found them on TrueTech Tools. It's just that they're really expensive. Sporlan. What are they called? Oh, that's the name, right? Smart Service. The Parker Sporlan Smart Service Toolkit. All right, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Just give me a minute. I see all the new guys coming in, all the chats coming in. Let us go. iPhone make Nextel great again. Don't forget about the cold pack condenser. The way the suction and liquid lines are super close together. Is it the one cold pack? No, I'm thinking of Heatcraft. Cold pack. I'm gonna have to look it up really quick. I can't remember which one cold pack is, unless it's the one I'm thinking of. But they have the two lines now that come out of the side of it, but the ports are on the inside now. And that one I can't get any like vacuum setup. I have to do my vacuum from further inside the unit, because they do give you more ports now. So they give you like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 ports. But the two that are supposed to be the accessible ones are now the hardest ones to get to. It's just so stupid. I don't know why they changed anything. The refrigeration stuff. Oh, the cold. Is it? Yes, the side by side, right? Okay, I'm thinking of like Heatcraft or Bone, whatever. Cold pack. It might be like is it like the RDI ones where it's the two lines right, like right next to each other? And they go out of the back of the unit or opposite the fan. They come out. One port is open to nothing, but the other port is right up against that line, right? So they both face to the right, but one is hitting that line. It's like you can't get any probe in there. You can only get a 45 or 90 if you have like a hose. You can't get any probe in there unless you do have a fitting for it. So I don't know why they make these things so dumb for us to service, because they're obviously like refrigeration equipment especially does not come pre-charged. Only residential AC units or rooftop units come pre-charged, like RTUs, AC units. Refrigeration equipment doesn't come pre-charged. Walk-in boxes, any of that stuff. So like they have to know somebody has to vacuum and charge this damn thing. Why are they making it more difficult? Beats me. Let me see if I can pull up the screen here. So this is the Parker Sporlan Smart Service Toolkit. It's not an easy pill to swallow, because at one point I was trying to see like how many could I buy and review like for the channel. The videos don't do well enough for me to do this. You get, and you don't get much, right? You just get, as far as this kit, you only get the 2 probes and the 2 clamps. I'm not sure what kind of batteries they take. Oh, and then you got sensors and other stuff, right? Oh, no, it's a low pressure. This is a temperature sensor. I don't know. That's what it shows. It shows 4 items, unless there's more in the bag or in the box. Parker Sporlan, I did reach out to them because I've had several comments saying that people have these, and if I could either review them or telling me I should try them because they like them so much. So I don't have a reason to buy them, not $1,000 reason to buy them. If they were cheaper, I would have bought them. If they were like $500 to $600, like, or I don't know, I don't even know if the field piece are still that price, but if they were more of the price of like the field piece or something, like I probably would have bought them. But yeah, I reached out to them and they're like, we don't want to work with you. No, thank you. Not at this time. Or we're not interested in working with you on this. You know, thank you. Not at this time. Thank you. I don't know what. So I know I've probably have rubbed them the wrong way, because I've heard so many bad things about Zoom Lock Max. And I forgot that I did a video on the Zoom Lock Push where they failed like twice on me. So these companies will see all the videos that are made about them. So I'm more than sure they caught wind. So I was going to try to work with them and see if we could review them for you guys. But at the moment, I don't see myself buying them. Maybe next year, maybe if we do some more pressure probe reviews. But I have the UEI probes that video will drop sometime this week. It might be like middle week. And I don't know what, after that, I would probably want to try like a yellow jacket one or something. JV makes good stuff. They have won me over now because I have their probes. I've been a big fan. If I didn't like them, I would have just gone back to my field piece and I would have given them to somebody else. But I got used to them. I can't switch. So I'm keeping the JV probes. I have the micron gauge. I do like their micron gauge quite a bit. I don't like their, I heard good things about their scales and stuff like that. I don't have those. But what was it? Oh, the core tool, the core removal tool. I do not like. Specifically the one with the torque setting. The lever is confusing. I can't remember which way is on or off because it looks the same in both directions. And it kind of leaks a little bit when I'm trying to replace the core after I've after I've charged the unit and I want to get the cores back in, that one always throws refrigerant at me. So I tried it again recently. It did it again like twice, and I was like, I give up. So I like their probes. I like their micron gauge a lot, and I've heard good things about the scales and the pumps. Everything else, the manifold I don't like, the core tools I don't like. So, but they make everything else. If you need fittings, if you need shraders, brass caps, like they make all that stuff. I buy all that stuff. Like I still like their other, other stuff that they make, fittings and all that. Yeah. I don't remember what this was about, but the answer is always no until you ask. So yeah, I've always done that. I've always told other people to do that. You never know. Oh, okay. I haven't gone that far yet. Mine are pretty old now, so I should probably open them up and see how they are. It made a difference. Yeah, the Appion fittings are not cheap. Even the depressors are super. They're I think they're 60 to 80 bucks as well. Depend. Soho, dude. It depends on what size of pipe you do. I will say because I mostly do from quarter inch to 7/8, like on a weekly basis. I only have one location that has that 1 1/8 inch for these huge freezers, and that's about it. Everything else is 7/8 and under. It's perfect for that. They are now selling bigger oxygen cylinders if that's a concern. Now for me, the small narrow cylinders, I forgot the size of them, a liter or something like that. Those were good for like 8 to 10 repairs. And what I mean by repairs is like 2 to 4 joints per repair is what I could do, and I can get up to 10 of those calls. So if I was either doing an install where I did 4 joints, or I was doing a repair, cutting out a piece of pipe, replacing that, and doing 2 joints, anything of that nature, or doing some patches on like U bends and rub outs and stuff like that, I could do easily 8 to 10 repairs, and those cylinders cost like 30 bucks. So people complain about the price of these things, right? Like over the traditional way that you braise, but in my opinion, I mean, I know the other torches will last you a lot longer. Those oxygen ones, I haven't done it. I haven't exchanged them in a long time. I've been using the Ambro ones for like a year or two, a year and a half, I think, or a year, something like that. But I haven't gone to use the other tanks at all. So I don't know if they're still 15 bucks or whatever, but you have those, and they're so heavy. So switching over to Ambro is just like you can throw them in an MB3 bag, a small Vito bag. You can throw your map gas and your oxygen from Ambro. The handle and everything's super light, especially if you get the precision kit. So that's what I do. I throw it in an MB3 and then go and do the job, and then go throw it back in the van, like super light. So for me, I mean, you're investing in it because even if you go buy a new torch kit, I think the prices have gone up, but they used to be like 350 bucks, right, for the kit. And I mean, you're basically set there, but you still got to refill the tanks and everything. The Ambro Controls kit, from what I remember, was like closer to 500. So you do pay more, but it's way lighter. It's not for me, like roping up these versus roping up the traditional set, like it is a huge difference. Um, I need to weigh them. I don't remember. Like the weight is ridiculous. Like it's under 20 pounds. Like it's I think it's under 15 pounds. Versus a torch kit. I was just looking back at my video. The torch, like in the caddy itself, is like 44 pounds or something like that. So 44 pounds versus like 15 pounds or less is no joke. Because the little amber ones, I can raise them with one hand. So for me, it's worth it. $30 every 10 repairs is not a big deal, in my opinion. And now they sell the bigger cylinders, so you don't have to run out as often. But all this gets billed in your jobs. Like your job cost should cover, or whatever you charge should cover all of your equipment, regardless of what you do, regardless of how much you charge. Make sure you include something to cover the torches. The rods are not cheap either, right? The brazing rods, those keep going up. Brazing rods, anything that you use to braise, all the little accessories, and the tanks themselves. So to me, it's worth it. It's not for everybody, but it gets plenty hot. Even though it's matte gas, it gets plenty hot. Just a DIY guy. Can you tell me why I get 249 volts from L1 to T to T1? So if you're going from the top to the bottom, then it's not closing. And even if that contactor pulls in, because I just had this call recently, even if it closes and calls in and you have 24 volts, it just could be a bad contacts. Residential, I don't do residential, but I've heard a lot of ants or critters that get in there. So even though it's closing, it's not making that switch over internally, which Brian was on, contactor not closing. Yeah, so you should have power going in and power coming out. 7 O-rings and gaskets in there. Yeah. Tommy, we're primarily resi with some super light commercial. Planning to get, or any advice on planning to get light commercial to commercial? Uh, I mean, it's all kind of the same. It's just, it's all kind of the same. It's just, for me, it's, making sure, I don't know, making sure you go through all your steps and everything. Like what is still going to be applicable to commercial from going from residential, right? So same system, same cycle, everything like that. Is just, it's hard for me to tell because I think residential now has a lot of safeties built in. That used to be the big difference, was all the safeties, right? Was it a pressure switch? Is it a phase monitor? Is it, a whole bunch of these little things in between? And I don't know if you're going to do any refrigeration or you're just doing HVAC specifically. So to me, I like commercial better. Everything's in one place. You check everything on the rooftop and you just go from there. It's pretty straightforward. The hardest part of what I do, because I always get super jealous of when I watch like a residential job on YouTube or something. Like we don't get any shade whatsoever. We got to climb up on a high roof. So like you're kind of like what you're used to on like labor intensive, on the labor intensive side of things. I can be on a rooftop all day. That's fine with me. I can't be in an attic. So I'm just used to being on the rooftop. So, being used to going up and down a ladder, being on the roof all day, being in the sun all day, Get an umbrella, do something, because you get no shade on commercial. At least with what I do, right? Restaurants, hospital work, stuff like that. And yeah, roping up things and going back to the van is a lot of a bigger task to do on commercial. Stuff like that. Other than that, it's just make sure you know what you're working on. Like, I have this one location that always throws me off because it's the only 460 location we have. So I took that for granted, that I thought all commercial was 208, and I was wrong. So just make sure you know what voltage you're dealing with, what you're working with. Pay attention to little things like on the transformer. Is it tapped for 208 or 230? That was a big, number of calls that we had, was somebody just didn't tap it right, and it's acting weird on the low voltage side. So a lot of it is just knowing what you're working on and kind of going through the same motions. And on commercial, I don't know. You can make it work. I work with a lot of universal parts, and as long as you know what to get and how to get it, you're pretty set. Right now, the thing that I'm seeing a lot more of is this one location where we have Aeon units. This other location, we have variable speed compressors, and I had never seen that. Or what is it? Like, there's a VFD for the compressor. That's something new to me. So, like, you're always going to be learning. There's always new things in the commercial. Just like with residential, it's just on a different scale. And it's not really, like, when I got into it, I wasn't really concerned with the cycle, with, the basics and all that, because I already knew that from school. And you already know that from residential. It's all the little nuances, right? Like I said, all the little things, all like dealing with customers is different. The building itself, looking for breakers, looking for where did they run this, where did they run that. The duct work is always horrible. I hate looking for breakers. They're never marked. I hate looking for breakers because I always end up, what do you call it? Mislabeling them, and then I end up shutting off their registers or something else. And I'm like, damn it. So those are the things that we deal with on the commercial side. And that's just like you doing work. If you're running a business, it's a lot different because, like, the pay takes longer. Like, all the other stuff is, and the systems you got to be in, that's a whole different story. Are you getting your 24 volts to that contactor? Later, Brian. Yeah, all my foremen were the old generation. You had to be tough. They were fair. Sure missed that generation. I think how you handle yourself speaks a lot, right? You don't have to be aggressive back to these people, right? Like, because I don't think I was built for that when I got into it. So I've dealt with older guys. I've dealt with, senior techs or whoever that I was partnered with when I first started, right? I've been telling this story a little bit more recently because I've been asked about mentors. One of my mentors and he was a short guy too, but he was a little guy that worked with us, but he was super, he's very gangsterish, very aggressive. He's very quick with the comebacks, very, like, just that kind of guy that you didn't want to piss off, or you didn't want him to, or you to be on his bad side, or, he would just tear you up. He would roast you. He would talk bad about you. He would, and all this, and he could back it up because he was really good at what he did. So a lot of the guys that I worked with, because he ended up working with us before I had my license, because he could do the work. He was basically our refrigeration guy as a subcontractor, and then he worked for us for a bit to help us out and all that. So finally got my license, and then I could do the stuff on my own. But I worked with him. Nobody else liked him. He gave everybody such a hard time. He was so mean to everybody. And I just never like argued with him, like fought back about it. I made sure that I did what I needed to do. I was, as a helper, helping and trying to do stuff. And he took a liking to me, and then he helped me out with a bunch of tips and tricks. So like, that's why I said, like, I think you need a tough skin to kind of take some of this, some of the banter, some of the hard times that you get, but you can't, obviously they can't push the limit to like do any harm to you. But I had that too. And I've dealt with people like that. I just don't let them, you know, don't let them push you around. Don't take it, all that kind of stuff. I just never disrespected him either. And he saw that I was catching on and learning quickly. And, he respected the kid that was 20, the kid that was actually trying to do stuff and figuring it out and going back to what I learned in school and just, getting through the jobs and helping him out. He would have me do a lot of stuff, a lot of the brazing. I remember the first time I did stainless steel to copper, and I freaked out because I'm like, how do you do this? And he's like, you know how to do it. Like, he was just really good. So a very old generation type of guy, very hard on everybody. But if you show that you are learning, you wanna learn, you're doing the work, you're putting effort into it, they're going to respect you. And I think that goes a long way too, because like I said, everybody else hated this guy. My dad knew he was such a good worker that he was like, he dealt with it, and he never bothered my dad. Like nobody did stuff to my dad. My dad was, you guys have seen him or heard about him. So, yeah, it's just the old generation. Now it's a little different, but we got to help each other out. Question: do you recommend the Milwaukee rolling drawer or the rolling toolbox? Home Depot has some good specials. Personally, it depends on what you need it for. I was like, I don't need. So we have rolling toolboxes for the guys, and I gave mine. Oh no, I still have one. Um, we ended up using those because those were the best size wise, and they could dump everything they need to in there, and they can latch on a few other boxes and then go to the because they do kitchen work, go inside and set up and then work out of the toolbox. The rolling drawer, I think I'm barely gonna get it. I did have one that was supposed to come in. I thought I wanted it, but I don't think I need it. So the rolling toolbox is good because it's sturdy. You can dump everything you need to in there, and it depends on what you use it for. The drawer, I wanted it for the van, but then I realized I don't need the wheels, so it's like it doesn't make any sense. So we have rolling toolboxes. And if the toolbox is a lot cheaper, then I might just go with the cheaper option. But I will say, like, if you stack them up a lot, like if you have a ton of boxes, I just don't do that. And neither do our guys. They usually have the rolling toolbox and then maybe one other box on top, and then their tool bag and stuff. But if you're somebody that likes to stack them up high, then I would recommend the drawers all day. Like you can have that bottom drawer, and then you can have some other drawers or ammo cans or whatever you want to like stack it up to. And that's where it makes more sense. If you constantly have like a tall tower, but if you just have that box and maybe one other one, I don't think it's worth getting the drawer one. Rolling drawer. Yeah. It just depends on how you use them. Oh, the business. Okay. Have a just be prepared. Yeah. Mainly on the back end. Be prepared. You got to deal with a whole different side of customers. So I deal with it every week. There's an old man right now that is pissing me off because he wants everything done a certain way or we don't get paid. And you got to deal with it. So a lot of it is pride. Uh, I don't want to say like swallow your pride, but like you gotta be respectful. I just hate that one. And we make so much money there, so I can't say too much. But I'm like, dude, I can email you these things. I can give you all this. And he's like, nope, I want it printed. I want everything written out. I want this and that for 20 ice machines. So I got 20 different things to do. And then recently they changed their system, left me out to dry. And I was like, guys, like, this wasn't my fault, but he still was going to be, no, you should have done it this, whatever. So there's some customers that you have to deal with that are like that. And we have another one that is a younger guy, and he gave my guys a hard time because he's a hard worker himself. So he's like, your guys, I don't like that they're walking around. I don't like that they have their hands in their pockets. Like, you got to deal with so much stuff, especially when you hire. So like when you're on your own, it's a little bit easier, but you still got to deal with these customers. Every customer is different. Some are aggressive, some are super nice. You it takes longer to get paid. It's like a 30-day net. You got to get into these systems. They want all your paperwork. We just dealt with it with two big accounts right now. Like, they wanted a ton of paperwork to be sent. You got to be in different websites and systems, all that kind of stuff. And you deal with these customers, and if you have employees and other guys, they are an extension of you, right? So if they go do something, and everything now is on camera. That was one thing that my dad always said: be careful. And I always tell people, like, act like somebody's over your shoulder, act like somebody's going to go inspect your work, even if it's just you. Because, like, honestly, on a rooftop, I just uploaded a video I think it was this weekend, of a rooftop that it was one of the, not the worst ones I've seen, but it was like out of control, right? And I'm like, it's because these customers don't see it, but you need to act like they would. 'Cause I've had managers that go up on a rooftop and they'll inspect your work. So, my dad would always say, like, they have cameras, you need to be careful. Well, that actually happened recently. The guy was like, no, I was watching them on the cameras. Like, they're everywhere. And these are high def 4K cameras now. So a lot of the business side or the commercial side is like liability stuff. And if you have employees, like I said, they're an extension of you. So make sure that they treat the customers good and they do good work and that you can vouch for them, because if one of them does something that the customer doesn't like, it's on you. And then just the other stuff is money wise, having the proper tools and insurance in place, and keeping up with all the legal stuff. It can be pretty overwhelming at times, and recently I felt like I was a little burnt out just trying to keep up with submitting everything so that we can get paid. Because if I slack off on any of the business part, we don't get paid, or our business starts to fail. So trying to balance doing the actual work and then getting everything submitted and making sure that you're checking in with everything, following up, and getting all that done is the hardest part. Yeah, same here. That's kind of what I was talking about. I don't need them to have wheels. Everything gets bolted in my van. I wish they would have made a large single. Actually, I wish they would make, because who's the other one? Tough Belt has the real narrow single drawer that fits perfectly in certain spots in my van. So I wish Milwaukee would have done a giant drawer that was a single with no wheels, and maybe one of those single drawers would be cool, because then you can kind of put them anywhere. But yeah, I mostly use them in my van and they get bolted down. But my guys that do kitchen work like the idea of packing everything up and then rolling it into the kitchen and working. What would be the next step? Okay, so you're checking a contactor. I'm just going to answer this real quick. You said you have 24 volts to the coils, which would be the sides. Now you would check the two on top and the two on the bottom. Do you have, let's say, 240 and 240? Like, do you have 240 coming in and 240 going out? And not unless you're missing a leg or a breaker's tripped or something. But that's all a contactor does. You get 24 volts on the coil, which, like I said, is on the side. That energizes it to close it, and you're feeding in 240 or whatever voltage you have through the line side, and then you're going across. So then continue it down on the load side. Do you have that 240 coming out? If that's fine, then you got another issue, which would I don't know if you replace the capacitor. It could be a capacitor. I do commercial kitchen work, so I work out of the van. All my pack out is bolted in. That's my favorite thing is I take everything to my van, like motors and stuff, to kind of like work on them if I need to. Let's see. Pretty new to the field, only doing service calls, but I want to incorporate the pack outs. Well, good luck, because once you start buying them, you do not stop. Um, I bring a few pack outs when I do walk-ins. No problem. Tim Beavers. Yeah, I appreciate the guys that were helping out while I was talking. It's not big on DIY, but if you're capable, I mean, there's no reason that you can't, kind of check things on your own. I'm an HVAC guy, and I do other stuff around the house when I can. I've worked on my car plenty of times and done quite a bit of work that I'm actually shocked that I did. So if you can do it, why not? MB5B. That's a good one. My dad currently uses the MB5B. He really liked it. Um, I like the smaller bags. I have the SPMC and some other variations of that. I want the new. I didn't even know about this one. The TPLDP. Let me see. TPLDP. I want that one. I've been telling them for a long time. Can we have more enclosed side pouches? Because I go on a rooftop and I really like those TP, like TPXL, TPLC type of bags. But I like the meter pouches on the new bags. So they finally did it, and I want to try that one out. Roll into the job site like it's school. Yeah. Oh, we just did one. I think I've seen those. Yeah. So They just need to leave it alone. Like, yeah. Let me see if I can catch up with the chat here. Do you get, let's see. The card is a big deal. We used to use the ones from like the hospitals and stuff, and now you can get a folding cart pretty easily. I have the Walmart one, and it works really good, the Hyper Tough. But there's other brands I know that make it. I've seen plenty of reviews or like people using them. So the carts are a big thing. I used to keep a full size cart in my van, just to, especially for the hospitals, because I was a long walk. So being able to take all that stuff in one trip easily was a big deal. Well, shark bite, yeah. We do use the shark bite for drain lines, especially if we have to do like some quick modifications. We hardly solder, if we're being honest, like soft solder. But yeah, the push fittings failed on me. I wanted to use them for quick, like reach-ins, repairs and stuff, and didn't work out. Let me see. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's been a great Sunday evening. I'm gonna try and get caught up with the chat and answer some questions, and then we'll see what happens. Let's see. Adrian, I want to go solo so bad in HVAC. Doing service work for myself. Dad is retired. Uh, drives me to calls, and I want to drive so bad. Never had any time to train. Service company brand I'm building is Comfort Medic and AC and heating. You said something about advice, right? Like, it is licensing and legal is all like another thing, but like as far as like doing it, I mean, there's just, you just hustle, you just go out there and get it, right? Like, if you're doing residential, you're gonna go and market the hell out of yourself. You'll get calls, you'll go do them. I know you said you didn't have a lot of training, is what I get from that. But if you know your basics, you can get yourself out of a pinch. Obviously, there's YouTube, there's a bunch of online resources right now, but going out on your own, the main thing is you just have to go out and hustle. Even with us that we do commercial, like we went restaurant to restaurant, left brochures, asked to talk to the restaurant owner or the manager, and just try to get in with them, be personable, see what they have going on. Small chit chat. How's business? How's your kitchen? Are there any issues that you have? Maybe we can take a look at it while we're here. These are things that we do. And maintenance was a big deal, right? Like, hey, just lay out a game plan, lay out a little script for yourself, and just talk to these customers. Because that at least that's what most people will ask me, is like when they go out on their own, like how do they get calls? How do they get customers? And it's like, you got to pitch yourself. You got to be proud of what you do. Tell everybody what you do. Put yourself out there. Advertise like crazy. Facebook, Facebook groups or whatever you think, wherever you think people will see you, and hustle. So even like us, we went everywhere, introduced ourselves. What do you need? Can we look at something right now? Do you have anything that you need us to look at? Hey, did you know, preventive maintenance, we do this and this with our maintenance contracts. It can prevent like bad motors, bad compressors. We'll let you know if anything needs to be addressed, and you make a choice. Like all these little conversations that you have with customers, And it's like you're trying to get them to be comfortable with you, but also just like, hey, I could use that, or I could use this. And you're not being pushy about it, but you're letting them know and just educating the customer. So that's all that is when you start. And then like you're gonna have to work a lot when you start and build it up, but then you get to reap the benefits of like, I work when I want to work. I can tell a customer no if I don't want to do something, or I can draw the line here and there. Sky's the limit. And working for yourself, you guys have seen Curtis. He has refused to hire anybody, right? Like he is a one-man show and he loves it, and he loves to work. So he just schedules what he needs to, and then he gets out at whatever time he wants. And I kind of do the same thing here. It's just that we're trying to grow. Like we have a different way of doing things. So I'm trying to grow and get up to a decent, like medium size company here. So I'm doing a lot more of admin and supervising and training and that kind of stuff, right? So, I mean, it doesn't take a lot. People ask me all the time because like I said earlier, there's a podcast that want me to go talk about business, and I'm like, dude, we are two guys winging it for 20 years. It's just, know what you can do, be confident in what you can do. Because I used to second guess myself all the time, and I was like, I don't know if I'm that good. Be confident, know what you can and can't do, and just hustle. And that's the biggest thing, right? Like, don't give up. We've had plenty of times where we had no money and kept going, but that doesn't mean everybody goes through that. It just means, again, what I said: know what you can and can't do. Don't try to take on too much. Don't spend a lot of money. That was another thing. Don't spend a whole bunch of money, and you'll be fine. The rod holder. So, man, we have gone an hour and a half, and I didn't get to the Ambro control video that I had. So we'll end with this. I'll get through some more of the chat really quick. I appreciate you guys for coming out and chit-chatting here. That is a solder weld rod saver. The part number is SWRS. SW-RS. I can only find these things. Oh no, I got that one off True Tech Tools. So if you go to True Tech Tools and you search solder weld, it'll be there. Some of their stuff you can only find on Solder Weld's website, but that one I got on True Tech Tools. It is for the little scraps of rods that you have, right? So, and I had people telling me like with anything, even with the torches, like, why do you buy that stuff? Because it's convenient. So it's for the little scraps. It takes round or flat rods. I'll probably do a video soon just to kind of show it and explain it. It's like $25, I think, or something like that. It's not expensive. And the way I used to do them beforehand, which was not a big deal, is I would use needle nose, right? I would just put them on the needle nose and braze and hold it like that. Just all the little stubs and stuff. And it gets frustrating. Sometimes you drop it, sometimes this and that. So I just thought this was better, right? And it was really cool. It helped. It doesn't melt. It's made out of like aluminum or something like that, and it's very heat resistant. So I had no issues using it. I put the flame right on it, and it was fine. So that's what that's for. And it has a little roller where you can slide it out or pull it back. And some guys were like, why don't you just solder all your pieces together? I was like, I don't know. Like, where am I going to do it? On the floor? I'm going to burn up their floor. I might not have somewhere to put a flame and kind of attach them. Like, just in my opinion, right? So before that, I used the needle nose. I just felt like I got tired of that. So I got that rod saver. It just came out. I don't know if it was last year or early this year. Like it literally just came out. So finally bought it with my order, and it's kind of cool. I just think it's cool. I'm making new Field Piece Pro video. I just did that quick comparison because I'm like, I still think Field Piece is up there, but there's so many now. There's Testo. I don't have Testos right now. I used to have them, but I sold them. I didn't want them laying around. There's Testo. There's the Appion ones. There's Yellow Jacket. The Sporlan ones. There's still quite a bit out there that I haven't used or tested, so maybe eventually we'll get to all of them. Oh, I saw some of you guys talking about field piece. Mine works well, the micron gauge, but I don't know if it's working correctly because I had another one on there and it was taking a while to pull, and then I took it off and put the field. I think I have a video somewhere because I know I showed it to Jake and Kurt, I think, and I want to set up something where I can test these micron gauges because I feel like I get a different reading on different gauges, on different micron gauges. So with me, I don't know if it was the other way around. I had one that was struggling at 1,000 or something, 800, 1,000, and I took it off and I put the field piece one and it dropped to 600, 500. So I don't know if it was working or not, but that one, the field piece actually read lower than the other one I had on. So I don't know which one was right. That's why I said I would love to test them. That was something that I wanted to do. Now I have like 3 or 4 of them, different brands. Maybe I should do a test against each other to see if they're all accurate to, or compared, how they compare to each other. Sometimes I doubt my tools and I'm like, I know I did everything right. Why am I not pulling down? Or it could be a gasket. That happens too. Like a gasket. We were talking about core tools earlier. It could be a gasket in my core tool or a fitting, whatever it is, a depressor. So just, it's there's a lot of things you need to keep in mind when you're pulling your vacuums. And I've heard mixed things about the field piece as well, but I've never had an issue where it wasn't working. It was just that one time where it dropped quicker than my other one, and I didn't know which one to believe. Oh, it's almost that time of year. Blue Vac is the best. I've had mine for years now. I still think it works flawless. I think I don't think I had any issues with Blue Vac. I had the mini one. I just didn't like that it killed my batteries. I always had to take them out. I heard some other guys say that that happened to them too, and they didn't know it was the batteries being drained. Like when it was, I don't know, what do you call that? Standby. It would drain in standby. So I just wanted something else. I've been using field piece. I've been trying out now the Hvac Micro, not the Hvac Micro, the Hillmore and the JB one. I really like the JB one. I think I mentioned it earlier. It can do 1 1/8, and that would probably be the most that I would use it for. I think it's rated for up to 2 to 3. I'm really comfortable with 7/8. I haven't tried it on 1 1/8, but I think it can do it. It's just, you gotta be, because no matter what, I think 1 1/8, you're kind of following. You can't heat the whole pipe up unless you use like a rosebud or something else. That is one thing I haven't tried, is to see if I could put other tips on it, but I don't think I can. I'll have to try it out. It can do it. It's just going to be a little bit longer because you're going to have to go around the pipe and follow the solder and all that. Later, Kitchen Cowboy. Yeah, no problem. Tommy. Keep trying. Someone will give in. Got my EPA at 18. Have hands-on experience in residential, currently in college, and trying to find a company to hire me, but none are willing to. So this is another reason I wish I could have a reliable branch in every state. This is kind of the reason we started, well, not the reason why we started hiring, but like one thing I had envisioned is I want an apprentice program, and I've gone to our local college to see how they handle this, but to do some sort of apprentice program, because I hate hearing this, because all these companies want like, oh, you got to have 2 or 3 years experience. Like, where are they going to get that experience, right? Like, you take somebody in regardless of their age, you got to train them. I know some companies literally just hand you the keys and kick you out the door, like, go run a call. It shouldn't be like that. You should be trained at some point, or you should be trained when you get in. So an 18-year-old, or we have an 18-year-old right now, it's all in the mindset, to me, of the individual. These companies are not seeing that. They think he's just a kid. We need somebody that can run their own calls. Everybody's different. If I had an 18-year-old come in and they wanted to work and they could do the bare minimum, like, we can train them up. And my dad has trained a lot of guys over the years of different ages, right? Like, if they want to work, they can do it. So, yeah, Mike said to keep trying. Someone will give in. That's what I've heard. So when somebody can't find a job, it's just, you got to apply to so many, and you got to take what you can get so that you can get that experience and then go apply again, right? Go apply somewhere else if you want to move to a different company. But yeah, that's one reason I wanted to do something with an apprentice program, because I was like, we need the help all the time. Like, just lifting, getting things in place, like, just helpers in general, right? So I was like, man, at some point we're going to get there, because the guys that we have right now, I want to keep them. So I don't want to rush them out. But I do want to do something where we can take people in, train them up, let them move on after a year or two, because then they have the experience and they can go work and apply for other companies, right? I'm not too concerned with competition. We have a lot of good work around here for ourselves, and I'm actually turning down work at this point. So I would love to get more people in, build up the business, let them get a couple years experience, and then go look for like their next job if they want to. So it's unfortunate. You just have to keep looking and keep trying. And I've heard it's a lot harder than it should be in some places. But the last guy that I had on, Mikhail, on the podcast, he said that his thing was an attitude thing. So he goes into the interviews, right? You got to look professional, well-mannered, everything like that. But I mean, I know, like I understand it's probably hard to even just get the interview, right? So if you do get an interview, just be professional, be polite, be respectful, and talk. Like, tell them why you want to be there. Tell them why, or, what your mindset is, what you want to do, and just be honest with them. And a lot of companies, a lot of good companies, will see that and take a chance on you. So it's just a difficult thing, unfortunately. And like I said, I wish I could have a branch in every state just to help these kids out. But keep trying, keep knocking on those doors, keep applying. I've heard that so many times that they applied to 100 places just to get a chance at a job, right? So we need you guys. It's just some companies are very stubborn in their ways, and they want to make it hard for you to get in. Goes back to my point. We can't push kids out. We need to get them in the trades, because this is a great career. And there's been some that just miss out on it because they don't get a chance, or they get pushed out. Ooh, the vacuum pump. I personally love it. 10 out of 10. I have, what do I have? I had the Hvac. I had the Hillmore, and then I had the field piece. I prefer the Milwaukee. It does the job. It does great. I believe it's a 5 CFM. It does enough, and it does all the systems that I needed to do. The battery, as long as you have a good battery on there, 8 amp hour or more, that's plenty. It's a little heavy, but it's still easy to get around and all that kind of stuff. So I like it. And I'm going to keep using that one, or strictly using that one. Yeah, we got to go battery powered. So when they come out with their recovery machine, game over. No more cords. Ooh, you said you do a triple evac. That's the only thing that I can tell you as well. You work in South Texas. A lot of change out with moisture and oil. Still in the line set takes longer than an hour. Yeah, like that when I have that issue, I have to do the triple evac or a double. Sometimes I don't need the triple, but it's a triple evac for me. But other than that, just it's just clearing out the lines. Um, but I work on commercial. I'm not sure what kind of stuff you work on. If you can do, so if you're doing residential, you should definitely look into those pigs. What are they called? Let's see. Hillmore sells one, but it only works if you do residential. If you do commercial, I don't know what to tell you. The only thing I can do is triple evac. But if you do the Hillmore, let's see, what is it called? The line set cleaning kit. So if you do residential, you can use something like this, where it completely cleans out the line set, because those little pig, what are they called? Foam pigs are the size of the pipe, right? So when it goes through, it's supposed to collect everything and push everything out. And we also use the flush and everything, and then you use this to clean it out, or to wipe it out, right? But again, this only works if you're dealing with line sets that have that are in the wall or in the building, right? If it's a walk-in box or a residential split system, that's what you can do to further clean out the line set. If you're dealing with contamination and you're not replacing the compressor, or no, but you said you're doing change outs, right? Yeah. I was like, if you're not replacing the compressor, you got to take out the compressor and dump the oil. But if you're doing a change out, this is the only other thing you can do to clean out the line set. Wrong button. Rarely do the triple evac thing. Sometimes it is what it is. Just have enough time in the job to do a proper evac. I'm gonna try that tomorrow, but yeah, I want to go to the 2 hose with my MG44. Oh, that your parts store gifted you. Nice. The half. I need a 1/2-inch port for the vacuum. Mine don't. Oh, that's why you're looking at the Milwaukee one. I wish they came with standard, like more ports, like either 2 3/8 or 2 1/2-inch or something like that, or 2 3/8 ports. Yeah, I have a Y. So if you go look on TrueTech Tools, or go look at, see if your supply house has JB. JB makes a Y that's cheap, and you can hook it up to. On mine, I have the 3/8 one, so you can hook it up to your 3/8, and it gives you 2 3/8 out of it. Or you can get one that's 1/2-inch, I think, as well. So you can make 2 ports out of one if you buy a Y fitting. And JB makes the cheapest one that I've seen, and it's a nice solid brass fitting. Navac makes a nice black one, but it's a little more expensive. And that's what I use on my vacuum pumps, especially one that doesn't have as many ports, to give me those 2 ports, and then I can hook up 2 3/8 hoses and do that too. If you're pulling through a manifold or 1/4-inch hoses, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot there. You need at least 2 3/8 hoses, and I'm looking to get into like 1/2 inch or 3/4 or whatever they make them up to now. Uh, Hoses so I can have even like quicker times. Baby shark bite. What is up from Brazil? Yeah, I was just looking at my tool link. I still have the field piece hoses there. I need to take them down. um, they're okay, but I had one that I've had two, I think, that busted already, and they're pretty new. It was but they were, I think they were the short hoses. But yeah, they're different. They try to make them different. Again, I'm pretty happy with like the yellow jacket ones, and that's what I typically go to. Yeah, I got I got work tomorrow too. The kids are off and my girlfriend too, but here we are. I have the fill piece hoses. I have them on, but I didn't use them that much on the manifold, and they were fine. But when I use my charging hoses for my probes, I had one of the short ones, like the short ball valve adapter hoses. One of them busted on me, and the other one just would not seal correctly on some fitting that I had. So I just wasn't able to use them. I had to go back to my yellow jacket ones. Really been thinking of a partnership with a guy that who owns a business, a plumber, hired my buddy that quit from my company. He's HVAC and wants to branch out. You get to be your own boss. It's very tempting. Man, I was just saying because I get asked, like I said, a lot of. I don't think I've tried enough of the JB hoses to have an opinion. They sent me the manifold. The yellow one was defective, so then that just stuck in my head. So it's not an issue because it was legitimately defective. I couldn't even hook them up. So I can't let one bad defective hose, uh, fault. I can't fault them for that. It was one hose. I'm sure they have. I've heard good things about them too. So, you know, there's that. Have you used your new JB probes? How are they holding up? They have not broken. I did talk about that. I know this has been a long ass live stream. It's a lot of good chats coming in. I appreciate you guys again. I did talk about it earlier. Not broken. I can't go back to not having a screen, so I'm gonna keep using them. They fit in my tool bag. They're fine. They fit in a lot of small equipment that I work on, and walk-ins and RTUs. They work fine. Just make sure you have the 45 fittings that it comes with, and I would recommend for those odd ports. There's some weird ports that you just have a hard time getting onto. Getting the 90 degree fittings that they sell. JB makes those as well. Other than that, they're fine. I love that I can just hook them up, and if it's like an old system and the customer's like just add refrigerant, we'll see what happens. I can just it already has a charging port on it. I can just top it off and then be on my way, right? So the screen and the charging port has sold me, and these have lasted, so they're not fragile. They said they had a bad batch, so I'm gonna hold them to that. And so far so good. I've been using them for weeks. Been using them for a while. Yeah, it could be worth it. You never know. I was gonna say I've been asked a lot about guys that want to start their business. There's a lot of new guys starting their business right now, and I kind of miss those days because we were not as busy. We did not have to worry about as much things. You had to worry about getting paid. That was, really the only thing. Like, we need customers and we need to get paid. But man, like, once I don't know, we had a lot of free time. We didn't have that many things to pay for. I got to work with my dad every day. We got to take lunches every day. Like, I missed that time. It was so chill until like the roller coaster wave started. So it's not easy. It's not for everybody, but I have enjoyed the journey for sure. And on that note, I think we've gone on way too long. I didn't even think I was going to stay on here for an hour, let alone two. So I appreciate you guys very much so for making this, Sunday night stream very fun, very interactive, lots of questions, lots of chats. I will say, I will end on this. That is my favorite bag. I did help with that bag. The only reason I'm not using it right now is because I'm testing other bags. MB3 is great if you need more room. Well, I don't know if it's more room, but like more pockets. I really like the SPMC. But yes, the MB3 Blackout and the SPMC are my top two favorite for service bags. If you need it super minimalistic, MB3 Blackout is the way to go. The only reason I can't use these bags that I want to use is because I'm testing. I still test for Vito. So right now they have me testing a couple other bags, and I can't show those bags, but maybe next year. But yeah, I love that bag. They are listening to recommendations, because I would love an MB3 bag with more pockets. So we'll see if they get that out maybe next year. Yeah, I appreciate it. I will end with this. If you guys have anything that you want to see next year on the podcast, please let me know. That was going to be my question to you guys, but I never got around to it, and we're going to get off already. But if there's anything you want to see on the podcast next year, more of this or more of that, like whatever it is, please let me know in the comments or messages, emails, whatever it is. Or the next time we come on here, I'll bring it up. Do you want to see more companies, manufacturers? Do you want to see more of the young technicians? Do you want to keep it the same, where it's a mix of things? Are there any questions that I should ask specifically to these guys? No, Mike. Is there anything we should be asking these people that you guys want to know more of? Like, I don't know, anything specific. I'll be posting about this, so I'll let you guys know. Yeah, this format. So the way I do it is, it's podcasting is pre-recorded, especially for the guys that get nervous, that they're maybe not good at doing a live stream. That's why I do those pre-recorded. And then I deal with a lot of companies every now and then, right? And those are easier for me to record on the weekends and then just play them on Tuesday evening, right? Then I want to do this one live so we can answer questions and talk and catch up. So that's the format for now. Do it live Sunday evening to talk. And then Tuesday is my podcast. And those are pre-recorded. So that's going to be the format. I'm going to keep doing it. This is not the last one. We're still doing this. I enjoy doing it. It's always hard to get behind a desk and start and everything. And then once we get into it, 2 hours just flies by, right? So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure to hit the like button. I am evaluating my channel as far as content. We'll see what we change next year. But I'm going to be doing the same thing. Business wise, I want to grow another one or two people and grow the business and everything. So that's the only thing that's taking up more time right now, where I'm trying to keep up with social media. I'm trying to keep up with my channel and stuff, but every now and then you're gonna see it drop off a little bit. So I'm not going anywhere. We're still gonna do this next year. We're still gonna do a lot of podcasting, a lot of channels, a lot of videos, a lot of things that can help you guys or just keep you entertained. And I like to watch a lot of guys that do HVAC, so I get it. So I'm still here, still doing it, and I want to grow on social media and on my business. So thank you guys again, and I'm going to hit the outro, and we'll see you guys next week. There we go.